Mari, you have no idea the kind of trouble you're in right now. Do you have anything to say for yourself? What you did was a crime, you know.
Crime? I have no idea what you're talking about. And another thing, who are you and why do you have my phone number?
You want to know who I am? I'm the woman who you just punched in the face. And as for how I got your number, you told me you were from corporate headquarters before you punched me. All I had to do was ask around to the people who saw what happened, and one of them gave me your number. Now, I asked you a question, Mari, and I want an answer. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Care to explain why you just punched me in the face in the middle of the wedding?
Why? What kind of stupid question is that?
It is not a stupid question. It's a straightforward one. Answer me.
You really want to know? Fine, here it is. All I did was swat an uppity little fly who was swarming around the CEO. Typically, when a fly gets swatted, it doesn't go and text the person who swatted it to complain. It falls to the ground and goes silent, which is what you should have done. Honestly, this is why I hate people from branch offices.
Oh, so you think I'm nothing but an insect, is that right? And you were trying to protect the CEO from me? Well, great job. You protected him all right and ruined his wedding. I can't believe you would punch me in broad daylight. I will be reporting this to all the proper authorities, including corporate HR.
Oh, please, you're such a child. You think corporate HR is gonna care about what some little cretin from a branch office tells them? It's an unwritten rule that the people in corporate HQ can do whatever they want to branchies like you.
Branchy? You even have a nickname for people who work in branch offices?
Hey, I could call you much worse if you'd prefer. All you branchies are just flunkies who could never make it in corporate HQ. The only thing you ever accomplish is wasting our company's precious resources. If you ever want to escape from that living hell, you've got a lot to learn, and me punching you back there was lesson 1. If you're ready for lesson 2, come on back inside. I've got it waiting for you right here in my left hand.
That wasn't a lesson, it was assault and battery. And seriously, what is it with you in this branch office versus corporate HQ hierarchy? Do you even know how businesses work? There are plenty of people in branch offices who are just as good, if not better at their jobs than you guys.
Okay, I think I may have taught you a little bit too much with my right hand back there. It looks like I fried your brain. Let me tell you how this business works. People only get sent to work in a branch office because they couldn't cut it in corporate HQ. Don't like it? Don't blame me, just get better at your job. Not like you'll ever be able to do that. You're even worse than a new hire. You started out in corporate and got transferred to a branch office. We kicked you out and you think you have the right to come to the CEO's wedding? You know what? You don't have to come back to me for lesson 2. I'm gonna come find you and give it to you personally.
Would you like to know why I have the right to be here? Just go and ask the CEO yourself, he'll tell you.
I'm not wasting 1 second of the CEO's valuable time talking about a peasant like you.
Nellie, I am so sorry for what happened today. I heard about everything from some of the other guests. We were still in our dressing rooms when it all went down, so I had no idea until later. But even during the ceremony, the mood seemed really off. Most importantly, you weren't there. I knew something had to be up.
Hey, Sam, it's all right. You don't need to apologize to me. I'm sorry that your wedding was ruined because of me. I was really looking forward to celebrating your big day with you. You're not just one of my best friends, you're also a valuable colleague.
No, I do need to apologize. I share the blame here. It was one of my guests that did this to you. But can I ask you something? Why in the world did he hit you?
According to him, it's because I'm a branchy.
A branchy? What does that mean?
It's his nickname for people who work in our company's branch offices.
He has a nickname for that?
Apparently, yes. He thinks that I was transferred to a branch office because I couldn't cut it in corporate HQ. Oh, and he also thinks that he can do whatever he wants to people that work in branch offices.
What is wrong with that idiot? He doesn't understand anything. You weren't punitively transferred over there.
I don't think that I have to tell you that I am not going to sit back and take this from him. He didn't just insult me, he insulted all the honest, talented people that I work with every day. The fact that he doesn't seem to know who I am and what I do for the company is actually a big advantage for me. That'll make it all the easier to teach him a lesson. So what do you say? You mind if I take my gloves off for this loser?
Don't stop there. Put on a set of brass knuckles. As CEO, I hereby endow you with any authority you need to send this guy straight into the deepest circle of hell. Oh, and while you're working your magic, I'm gonna make some moves on my own.
Hey, don't you forget that he's mine first. You can have him when I'm done with him. I'm gonna destroy him like I destroyed you in Call of Duty back in high school.
Hey, what's going on? You and the CEO went to high school together?
Not just that, we even went to the same daycare. We've been friends since before we could even add or subtract. That's why I was invited to his wedding, not just as a colleague, but as a close friend. I was actually one of the first members of the company back when he started it up.
But if you've got that good of a connection, what are you doing working in a branch office?
He originally wanted me to work in corporate as COO. But I don't know, I was never really one to sit up on high and rule over all the peons, you know? I'd rather be right there in the middle of the day-to-day operations. So he made me the lead on the special task force focused on emergency course correction. My team has saved the company a lot of trouble over the years. You really didn't know about that?
No way! I don't believe that story for 1 second! There's no way a branchy could be that important to the company! You hear me? You're nothing but a branchy, and that's all you'll ever be! Unlike you, we corporate HQ elites have to actually generate results in order to keep our positions! You think you've saved the company? Don't make me laugh! The only reason the company operates as well as it does is thanks to our superior talent. So don't ever try to act like you're better than me ever again!
Wow, Murray, you sure are dedicated to this bizarre branchy thing, huh? You really think the people in branch offices are that incompetent?
I don't think that way, it's just the plain and simple truth.
I give up. I hope you realize this means war. You've just made an enemy of me and all the other branchies. I've been around to almost all of the company's branch offices, you know. I've met a lot of wonderful people and learned a lot from them as well. So I'm not going to let you get away with your bizarre bigotry. I'm going to put an end to your nonsense right here and now. I won't allow you to hurt any more people than you already have, Mari.
Big talk from a pathetic little branchy. Just what is a flunky like you gonna do to me, huh? I don't care if you were friends with the CEO, you're beneath me! I don't believe this! You little cretin! You actually called the cops on me? You had no right to do that to me!
Oh yeah? And why not? Is it because I'm a branchy?
Exactly!
I guess you weren't kidding when you said that you thought you could do anything you wanted to branchies. Well, I can't believe I actually have to explain this to a grown adult, but punching people is a crime, Mari. And what happens when you commit a crime? You get punished. That's how a proper, orderly society works. Looks like you should have paid better attention during your social studies classes.
I don't need some branchy telling me how society works.
Apparently you do, actually. If you knew how society functioned, then you wouldn't have punched me in a public place. I already filed a police report, so I suggest you get yourself an attorney. They'll be coming to have a little chat with you shortly.
That was discipline!
Discipline?
Yeah, it's part of corporate discipline. I work at corporate headquarters, so I'm higher up in the company's hierarchy than you. That means it's my responsibility to make sure all you branchies know your place. You were out of line at the wedding for talking back to me, so I gave you the necessary discipline to get you back in line. You see, I didn't do anything wrong at all.
Wow, Mari, that's a really good excuse for what you did. You should definitely use that line in court. I'm sure it'll go well for you.
Of course it will, and I know all the other people at Corporate HQ will back me up if I ask them. They'll probably say you deserved even more than I gave you.
Would you like to put that theory to the test?
What do you mean?
I'll make a post about the incident at the wedding on the corporate message board. I'll even use false names so no one knows that you or I was involved. If you're right and the majority of the employees side with you, then I'll agree to not press charges against you.
That sounds like a great idea! It's gonna be a landslide in my favor!
Well, there it is. All of the corporate HQ employees read the post and voted, and the results are in. 98 employees said I was in the right, and 2 sided with you. One of those people, I assume, was you. The other person posted a reply to the post saying they accidentally hit the wrong button on the poll and to ignore their vote. So do you understand now? You were wrong, and everyone but you knows that.
That poll is a fake!
A fake?
Someone must have hacked the system and tampered with the votes. I'll bet one of your branchy buddies did it. Yeah, that has to be it. There's no way that actual corporate HQ employees would side with a branchy.
Mari, that message board is only accessible to people with corporate IDs from the corporate HQ office. Plus, your computer has to be physically connected to the office LAN in order to access it. I had to stop by corporate and borrow a computer to make the post.
Yeah, well, you voted in the poll too, didn't you? That's not fair. You're a branchy, and the poll was only supposed to be for corporate HQ people. That means the poll is invalid, and I'm still right.
All right, it looks like you're not going to make it easy on me. So be it. I'll make you understand how wrong you are one way or another.
Explain this thing I got in the mail today, branchy. This letter says that I have to pay for your medical expenses, and I owe you punitive damages? Why do I have to pay you? This doesn't make any sense.
You punched me in the face, and I fell down and hit my head on the floor. I went and got checked out at the hospital just in case. Fortunately, there were no serious injuries other than the swelling, which healed pretty quickly. But I still incurred medical costs because of what you did to me. I think it's only reasonable that you would have to pay for it.
What kind of nonsense logic is that? I didn't make you hit your head on the floor. Seriously, with an IQ that low, it's no wonder you can't make a decent living. I get it. You're dirt poor and want to bilk me for any money you can, huh? Tell you what, I'm feeling charitable today. I'll humor you. I probably make 5 times as much as you do, so I think I can handle a measly hospital bill.
Oh, is that so? Glad to hear it. Then you can pay me $1,500.
What? $1,500? Why is it that much?
My injury wasn't severe and healed in a week, so that means you're only responsible for the legal minimum amount. And didn't you say you can handle a little hospital bill? $1,500 is a lot less than it could have been, so I hope you'll pay up without putting up a fuss.
You just made that number up. I'm not paying it. You're trying to trick me, but it's not gonna work. I'm too smart for you.
You think this is a trick?
I'm smart enough to know when I'm being defrauded. That invoice you sent me is a total fake. You've been spending too much time around branchies. If you want to fool me, you're gonna have to try way harder. And besides, if I paid you, that would be an admission that I was at fault. I'm not at fault, so I'm not gonna pay.
Well, I see you completely changed your mind once you saw the price tag. And again, you really don't know how this works. With an intellect like yours, I'm surprised you got hired into this company at all, much less at corporate HQ.
Yeah, I know. I think I could do much better than this company, too.
That's not what I meant, but okay.
Anyway, I'm not giving you a single cent. If you were at corporate HQ like me, then I might give you a little nominal sum.
Yo, Nellie, how's your face doing?
Much better now, thanks for asking. And thanks also for giving me all that paid time off. It would have taken a lot longer to feel better if not for that. Although I am getting kind of anxious to get back to the office.
You don't change a bit, do you? This reminds me of the time we bet $50 on which of us would get a better grade on the math exam. You stayed up all night before the exam studying to try and beat me.
Ugh, that is the worst possible example to bring up right now. Thanks to that, I fell asleep halfway during the exam and couldn't finish it.
Yep, and thanks to that, I was able to buy the new Battlefield game that came out that year. And thanks to your hard work at the branch office I sent you to, their performance has skyrocketed since you've been there.
What does that have to do with me losing a bet to you?
Nothing. I just remembered it and wanted to take the opportunity to rub it in your face again.
Oh, well, thank you so much for dragging up that episode. Anyway, I appreciate you praising my performance, but it seems like a lot of people in corporate HQ aren't aware of my exploits.
Yeah, I know. I'm really sorry about that. I always tell the people here to check out the numbers for our branch offices, but everyone's always too focused on their own work. I think I need to do a little shake-up in the work style over here. But before that, I need to take care of Maury.
Oh, did the committee make a decision? It seems like Murray's pretty confident that he won't be held accountable at all.
Yeah, and that alone is another problem entirely. Don't worry, though. I'll make sure that chump never does that to you or anyone else ever again.
I'm counting on you. This sort of situation really does require a top-down response.
Sir, I think I'm owed an explanation. I'm getting my pay docked and losing my year-end performance bonus? What's the meaning of this? I understand you and that girl have known each other for a while, but I have to say that it's extremely inappropriate to be mixing business with your personal connections.
You think this is happening because me and Nellie are friends? That's not the case at all. We came extremely close to losing multiple clients because of you. That's what you're being punished for.
What do you mean?
It wasn't just company employees at my wedding. Executives from a number of our largest clients were also in attendance. They all saw you punching and verbally abusing a female employee. How do you think that made them feel, Maury? You think they want to associate with a company that has that kind of corporate culture? They all knew right away that they had a PR disaster on their hands.
I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Well, you thought wrong. You seriously damaged our reputation among not just the clients who were there, but all the companies who heard about what you did. Some of those companies, understandably in my opinion, informed us they were considering closing their accounts with us. I went around and apologized to all of them and assured them that nothing like this would ever happen again. And fortunately, that was enough for them to keep doing business with us.
Wait, you mean you actually went and personally apologized?
Of course I did. That's how serious of a situation it was, you dunce. And just so you know, just an apology isn't going to be enough to restore our image. While none of our clients closed their accounts tonight, a few have put their dealings with us under an internal review. So, Maury, how are you going to take responsibility for this? Don't you think that docking your pay and cutting your bonus seems like a pretty reasonable punishment?
But sir...
But nothing. You're not coming back from this, Maury. Don't think that this is all that's going to happen to you.
Sir, please, wait! You're right, I may have been slightly insensitive in my actions. It was wrong of me to do something like that at your wedding.
It would have been wrong of you to do no matter what the situation was. My God, Maury, what is wrong with you? It looks like I'm gonna have to take even more drastic measures to cure your bizarre corporate HQ master race complex.
No, sir, please don't! Sir, please tell me this is a mistake. I'm being demoted?
Ah, so the notice finally came from the HR department? Good. Effective today, you're hereby stripped of your managerial authority.
This isn't fair! You already docked my pay for what happened with the clients!
Yes, that was your punishment for damaging our relationship with our clients. I told you that wouldn't be all, though, didn't I?
Oh, yeah.
Your demotion is the punishment for assaulting Nellie at my wedding. Surely you can understand my reasoning here. You, someone with organizational authority, berated another employee in full view of the public and even became physically violent. As the CEO of this company, I cannot allow my management-level employees to behave that way. It's clear to me that you don't have what it takes to responsibly wield the authority you've been given. You're gonna go back to being equal to all the other non-management employees until you learn how to see from their point of view.
No, you can't do this to me. Please, sir, you have to reconsider. My performance is far superior to all those bumpkins in the branch offices, right?
Exactly what grounds do you have to make that claim?
But it's true!
Have you actually looked at performance numbers for our branch offices?
Well, no, I guess I haven't.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Listen, Maury, being transferred to a branch office is not necessarily a demotion. I do such transfers regularly because I want people in corporate HQ to be familiar with all the aspects of the company's operations. You would know this if you would actually check the performance reports, but there are plenty of employees at our branch offices who outperform you.
What?
In fact, your performance is a bit below average compared to branch office performance. I know you've built up your ego around lording your position over branchies, but that's just your baseless prejudice. I've sent some files with data from the office you'll be working at to your computer. Your assignment for the rest of the day is to look that over and familiarize yourself with their performance. An HR rep will be in touch with you shortly with further orders. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir. Crystal clear.
You're making quite the buzz around here, Maury. You're getting put through a special anti-harassment program, aren't you?
What the? How did you find out about that? That was supposed to be confidential.
It is, officially anyway. The company keeps that sort of information anonymous. However, a few people have seen you going in and out of the conference room where the program was being held. Word spread like wildfire after that. That has got to be humiliating for you. I mean, that's not the ordinary anti-harassment training that we all have to sit through once a year. They only give that sort of training to people who are in an inch away from getting fired. You'd better watch your next step. One wrong move and boom, off to the unemployment line with you.
Stop laughing at me! This isn't funny!
Oh, but that's where you're very, very wrong, Mari. It's absolutely hysterical. And you only have yourself to blame for being in this shameful situation. Do you get it now? Not one single person in this entire company took your side. Looks like I was right after all.
It doesn't make any sense! Why doesn't anyone see it my way? I worked hard to get to where I was. Anyone who can't do what I did just needs to work harder. So you branchies have no right to talk back to me, no matter what I say or do to you.
The people whose performance numbers are lagging are all desperate to boost their numbers. You're their boss. It's supposed to be your job to help them out.
I've got better things to do with my time than listen to a bunch of losers whine. My management style gets results. Just look at my department's performance numbers.
Oh, trust me, I've looked them over. They've been on a consistent deadline with no signs of improving, and now we can all see why. As long as you're in charge of it, that department's performance will never improve.
What did you say?
I'm not saying anything. The data says it all for me. Numbers don't lie, Mari. You're a dead weight.
This can't be happening! Not only did I get transferred to a branch office, you got appointed to replace me?
You've been stationed in that branch for quite a while now, but looking at the performance numbers, I don't see any reason to believe you're as productive as you say you are. Didn't the CEO tell you to relearn the business when he sent you over there? You were talking yourself up quite a bit to me before. But you haven't accomplished anything of note after your performance scores were reset. Not only that, in just a few weeks, I've completely turned your department around.
You must be cooking the books. I don't believe it for 1 second. I was in charge of that department for years and nothing ever changed no matter what I did. But the instant you take over for me, performance skyrockets. It's not possible.
What can I say? I'm awesome at what I do. And what do you mean by no matter what you did? You didn't do much of anything other than scream at any one of your subordinates whose performance started to slip. Didn't you ever think about, giving them advice on how to improve? I'm all for personal responsibility, but what you're doing is just plain dereliction of duty. Every single employee in this department tells me that you've never given them a single compliment.
Oh, come on, you didn't talk to every single person there.
But I did. Not only that, I used what they told me to do a complete overhaul of the department's operations. It didn't take too long for me to find the problem either. More than half of the people here were being forced to work in areas outside their expertise. What do you think a manager's job is, anyway? Your responsibility is to divide work up based on your subordinates' capabilities. Give support and advice where needed, and facilitate healthy communication within the department to allow people to learn from one another.
Don't give me that new age management mumbo-jumbo. It's just not possible. A 50% sales increase in just 2 weeks?
I can't take all the credit for it myself. All I did was unlock the potential of your subordinates that your pathetic mismanagement had put a stopper on. Once I fixed that problem, they spread their wings and flew all by themselves for the most part. You talked a big game, Mari. But this is the big leagues. If you want to succeed here, you have to get results. You thought that I was transferred to the branch office because I couldn't cut it in corporate HQ. Ironic, huh? You're the one who couldn't make it over here. Guess you just need to work harder. I would really like to know where in the world Mari's superiority complex came from. You all saw how much he was talking himself up to Sam and I. But once he got transferred to the branch office, it became clear really quickly that he was absolutely useless. No matter how much time passed, his performance numbers were always the lowest in the branch. There are a lot of people working with him now with more talent and a better work ethic than him. So I'm hopeful that he can learn a thing or two from them, but I'm also doubtful. After all that branchies are a bunch of losers talk, he's performing worse than they do. I'll bet this is such a humiliating experience for him that he'd rather just sit and work someplace else. If he were able to, that is. Unfortunately for him, word quickly spread throughout the local industry about what he did to me at Sam's wedding. I don't think he'll be getting any job offers anytime soon. He's just going to have to swallow his pride and keep right on working where he is. If he was able to work his way up to management in corporate HQ, he must have some kind of potential in him, though. All he needs to do is work on that attitude of his, and I bet he'll be right back to where he was in no time. As for me, I'm enjoying my new position just fine. Sam came to me the other day and asked me if I was thinking about marriage at all. I am, and I certainly would like for Mr. Wright to come along, but I couldn't let him know that. So I just told him, mind your own business or I'll tell your wife all your most embarrassing stories from middle school. Sam's a great friend and an even better business partner. So until I find my life partner, I'll just have to keep plugging away at work.